What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Outriders video. And today we are going to talk about all of these events that have unfolded this morning and all the way up into this evening, which bears the question, is Outriders unplayable? So if a lot of you don't know, let's just start from the beginning and catch everybody up. So today is Friday, April 30th, and Outriders released their biggest patch yet. And it came with a whole bunch of problems, big problems. And yeah, so let's start off with the patch notes. So today's patch actually did fix quite a few things in Outriders. If you were a PlayStation user and you had a lot of sign-in problems, they did fix a lot of that. And a lot of you that have been stuck in, the sign-in screens, they fixed that for the most part for PlayStation and PC. Reason why I'm not talking about Xbox, we'll get to that in a second. But let's look at the patch notes real quick. So, they fixed a few number of crashes throughout the game, fixed a number of issues, bugs, and crashes associated with multiplayer. Like a lot of you, if you do multiplayer or crossplay, you would see a lot of these like bar symbols that would pop up showing your your connectivity is either like yellow, red, green. Well, they kind of fixed that to where you're not really getting a lot of red connection. You're not lagging out a lot. And this is all, quote unquote from their patch notes. Next up, they said they resolved the issue that caused a lot of players to get stuck in the sign-in screen. And this one, I'm going to say, is mainly for PlayStation and PC because after the implementation of this patch, Xbox had some problems. But back to the patch notes. They also said that they fixed a bug where the skill damage improvement mod on gear with a higher level than the player would actually reduce damage when used at a lower world tier. So they fixed that. They fixed a bug that was causing number of mods to not properly trigger on shot or on crit effects. So this is the first big one that they did fix. For example, I am using the juggler. This one has scrap grenade. So the first shot after reload becomes an anomaly projectile. So this is a on shot effect. So the first shot will give out an effect. It is a anomaly projectile. Well, this particular mod and a few others in the game, several others actually, would get glitched out. So after a cutscene would happen and say directly after that cutscene you'd start shooting your weapon, well, all of a sudden those mods would become inactive. They wouldn't work. So a lot of people, to mitigate this, what they would do is after a cutscene, they would just use their skills, and then they would wait a few seconds, use their weapons, and then, everything would be nice and normal. But for some reason in the game, up until, I guess, today's fix, if you were to shoot your weapon directly after a cutscene, it would basically glitch out your mods, and you'd have to either reset the game or not get all that damage. So yeah, that was quite annoying, but they did say that they fixed that today. Alright, so back to the patch notes. Fixed a bug that caused the trickster's hunt the prey skill to not teleport, but still go into cooldown. That sounds pretty annoying. And then there was a few, behind the scenes fixes, which everything seemed nice and fine, nice big patch with a whole bunch of things that were fixed. Now this is where the problems began. And if you want any sort of reference, you can go to Twitter, pull up Outriders, and you can actually see all this unfold. But I'm going to go ahead and just start reading it to you. So this started at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so not even an hour later, they then posted this. We are aware of some issues regarding armor and survivability issues as of this patch. These will be rectified with an immediate maintenance. So this one is kind of hit and miss because I have noticed this myself. Since both of these patches are patch and maintenance update, whatever you want to call it, whenever these were both implemented today, it seems that this game is really easy now, solo, which is kind of weird. But then as soon as you get into a group, it seems like the AI scaling or something is just off. People are going down left and right. Some people say that, certain mods or certain, skills are not doing what they're supposed to, and it's just a big mess. I have noticed this myself, where I could do a expedition solo, it'd be a nice smooth ride, nothing's really out of the norm. But as soon as I matchmake or play with some of my friends, as of today, it just seemed a lot harder. I don't know what that's about, but they clearly addressed it on their Twitter. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you've experienced today. So then that was not even an hour after the initial patch. So then a few minutes after that, they then posted, for any Xbox users who are unable to log in since the maintenance, please try clearing your cache. Then power cycle your console, clear your cache again, and turn it off. Not reset mode. Then unplug it for a few minutes. This step is important. This is ridiculous. This sounds like somebody just read a FAQ article off of just some random IT and then just copy and pasted it. It's basically saying, just have you tried restarting and starting it back up? Have you tried blowing on the cartridge? Have you tried shaking it? Have you tried hitting it upside the... It's stupid. So this was one of the problems here, because I myself personally experienced this because I am on Xbox. And a lot of my friends were not able to sign in. It would just say, like it did back in the demo, we called it the red screen of death, basically saying you don't have internet connection, servers are down, what have you. And this is still happening as of right this second. For some reason, I'm okay to log in. I don't know why, but I have several friends that are not logged in. Just to look, let's see if we have any people even playing it. So right now I actually have 5 people online, which is 5 more than I had for most of the day. But alright, so back to the events that unfolded earlier. So that was their quote-unquote fix for Xbox, which it worked for, I think, one of my friends. But the rest of them, it did not work. It was pretty funny the way they did this. So after that, they underwent a brief maintenance half-hour fix. Now this was a quick fix, and what they addressed was quite odd. So apparently the big patch from this morning had some stealth nerfs that were associated with it. More importantly, it says this 30-minute brief maintenance is going to address a couple issues with the killing spree mod and the time it takes to revive players when they're on a knee. So apparently what they did with this patch is they made it longer to revive a friend if they're down, and they also nerfed the crap out of the killing spree mod. So both of those, they were getting a lot of slack from. A lot of people were angry, and then they decided, okay, we'll fix those things. So then they put that on their Twitter. All right, so fast forward a couple hours go by, and then they posted this. We are additionally looking into further reports of sign-in issues on Xbox. The below tweet may help some users, but we're still investigating the matter on our side. And then they tell the people again, recycle your Xbox, clear the cache, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of this was not working at all. Like I said, I only had one person I know out of everybody that this actually did work for them. So then they post, should you be encountering issues on Xbox during login to the lobby, please try creating a new character. This may help as a temporary workaround if you are affected by the issue logging into on Xbox. Now this is where I shake my head, palm to the face. What the hell did they just say? So let's return to lobby and I'll show you what they just said. Alright, so this is... Let me alright, boom. So this is your character sheet, right? You actually have to be signed into the game to get to this character sheet. What they are saying is that if you have problems logging into the game, they want you to create a new character right here. The problem with what they just said is that no one's able to log into the game. So how are you able to character if you can't log into the game? That was, oh man, that one hurt. Just saying. It made zero sense. Everyone I know on Xbox was like, what are they talking about? They can't even get past the login screen, and you're telling them to start a new character and then go back. It just, oh. Anyways, so back to the events. And again, if you want to follow along, just go onto their Twitter and you can just scroll up and down. You can see all these. It's actually quite hilarious. Okay, so their next one said the maintenance is now over and any unintended changes to the Killing Spree mod and revive time should now be fixed. Additionally, they use this maintenance time to implement a potential resolution to today's issues, and they are continuing to monitor the situation. And that was the last thing we heard. That was 9 hours ago. And like I said, I do have 5 friends online right now playing the game, so it does seem like Xbox is working a little bit more than it did earlier. However, this also sparks some other problems with the game. Okay, so this patch was to fix PlayStation, and then what it ended up doing was messing up Xbox. Kind of weird, because you've already had PlayStation people unable to sign into your game for weeks. Not only that, but for weeks, if you lost your inventory, one of those bugs affected you or a friend of yours, you were forced to either A, start a new character, or B, not play the game. And what they just released today was stating that they are not able to fix it right now. So let me go back to the patch notes and we can read verbatim what they said. All right. So it says at the top of their patch notes, the greatest difficulty we're facing, in particular related to giving characters the correct items and the correct levels back, is calculating 3 different variables. They have to calculate your character level, your highest unlocked world tier, and your highest completed challenge tier. So for every single person that was, hit with this inventory wipe bug, you are unable to still get your stuff back. And they're trying to say why. So it says the complexity of these 3 variables, being, the character level, world tier, challenge tier, on an individual scale is taking some time for us to get it right. Our tests indicate that restoring a higher level gear than before might lead to more future character corruption. So before they were saying, hey, everyone that lost your inventory will not only restore what you had back to you, but a lot of them will be either, God rolled at that level, or they'll give you something at a higher level. Well, now they're saying they can't do that because those 3 variables are very hard on an individual level to, do this for each and every single Outrider that was affected. I'm guessing a lot of you were affected. I know my buddy Sergeant Graybeard, he lost his inventory and he actually had to end up starting a new character because if not, he wasn't able to play the game. So what they're saying right here is that they're not going to be able to give you, the higher level gear than what you had. They're not going to be able to give you the God rolls of what you had because it might further corrupt your character. So they're afraid that if they do that, it might mess something else up with your character. So yeah, there's that. Now it says, after the character corruption, it says, so with that, we are not able to issue a blanket one-size-fits-all solution here. As our tests have progressed, our latest patch was cleared for release. While we hope to run this restoration process before the patch, this was unfortunately not possible, so we made the decision to release the patch, which we got today, but we are not able to fix the restoration process as of right now. And then it says, we'll keep you updated. So basically everyone that lost their inventory, you still lost your inventory. Not only that, but they're afraid if they give you god rolled items, it might mess up your character even more. So they're trying to figure out a fix that won't mess up your character and it'll return your stuff back, but who knows if and when it's ever going to happen. So my question is, and let me know down below, is it really worth it? Now, is it worth trying to get back all the stuff you got god rolled? Or should they just give, like a blanket, set of gear and weapons to everybody that was affected? You know what I mean? Like, what if they did like 5 legendary weapons, 5 legendary gear items, 5 purple items, 5 blue items, whatever it is. But make it that way to where it's easier to just say click and then it just restores back to everybody. And, instead of this whole individual scale, trying to compute 3 different variables, the complexity, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Let me know what you think, because that could probably help out a lot of people. And for those people that don't have time to start a new character and they're just waiting for their crap to get fixed, this could help them out. Because there are so many people that got their inventory wiped that are not able to do anything right now. So, I don't know. That would be my thought on it. I don't know. Let me know. So, the next part that's quite funny is armor. So, let's look at my armor here. So, I'm a level 50. Let's see. Yep, you can see right there, level 50. And all of my armor is around, 10 or 11,000. And I even have a 9,000 armor. So, after this morning's patch, it was available for Outriders via the vendors to buy gear that had 30 to 35,000 armor per item. Yes. So right here you can see 9 to 11k is normal. And you can check on YouTube, Reddit, whatever, Discord. There are people now with full builds that have 30k in every single slot. So their armor, instead of 135, 136k, they're having armor around 350 to 400k. So yeah, not only that, but the developers fixed this. They made it to where you can't get that from the vendors anymore, and they did not revert it from all the players that were able to get those items before that next maintenance update. So for the hour, maybe 2 max between the patch and the maintenance update, people were able to buy gear items from the vendors that had 3 times the normal armor. So now there are Outriders out there that are God mode, unable to kill, and they are not going to revert it. They fixed it to where none of the rest of us can get it, but for those that were lucky enough to get 1, 2, even all 5 pieces with all that extra armor, they're able to now use it and basically be God mode. For me, I think that's a huge problem. Because now you're putting players up against each other. Now you have the players that were able to get higher level stuff, higher armor. They're able to complete stuff now, and then you have the other people that are struggling that can't do that, and they're not given the opportunity to get that gear anyways, even if they wanted to. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think down below. But alright, geez. That's about all my thoughts on this. Let me know what you think. Today's biggest patch, it did fix some of the sign-in issues on platforms like PlayStation, PC, but it did also mess up quite a bit of people on Xbox. So it's kind of like this balancing act where they can only fix so much before other stuff falls apart. It's quite worrisome. So that's why I am asking you once again, is Outriders unplayable? Do you even play Outriders? And after all of these problems, do you trust the direction Outriders is going? I mean, the developers have been quite transparent at times, but when S hits the fan, you know what I mean? They tend to be radio silent. They don't know what's going on. It's almost like helmet fires, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. Only thing I can say is, uh, I'm worried about this game, and I really hope that these fixes or solutions, restorative process, I hope they hurry the F up because there's a lot of people that want to play this game that can't play this game. There's a lot of people that lost all their inventory and don't have time to start another character. I mean, there's just a lot of problems overall. But all right, that's my little rant and my little question for you. Is Outriders unplayable? I am Kamikazevondoom. Don't forget to support the channel by hitting that like. If you are new, welcome. I'm sorry this is the first video you had to see, but subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comment section below what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.